Okay, beginning of day 23 on the trail. Tried to get up early. I have a long climb this morning, and I'm trying to get a 12-mile day in to meet a shuttle at 4 o'clock. So got up and started at about 6 o'clock, maybe 10 till, I don't know, and got out of camp at about 7:25. So kind of my bottom line, I guess, is about an hour and a half to take care of everything, get everything packed up. But it's a beautiful morning. Wanted to be able to hike this mile or two climb while the weather is still cooler. It's not going to be extraordinarily hot today, but it's going to be in the 70s, and so any advantage that you get by being cool is worth it. So the first half of this climb is more gradual, and the last half looks like it kind of kicks your butt, but we shall see what's down the trail. Okay, well, I'm going to update you here. Made it up the long climb surprisingly well. It's really great to hike that in cool weather. Now we're zooming along the top. I think I mentioned it last night in my wrap-up video, but I'm trying to meet a shuttle today at 4 o'clock, which means I need to knock out 12 miles before 4 o'clock, and I was worried that if I had the same average that I did yesterday of 40-some minutes a mile, that I couldn't make it in the allotted time. But this morning I'm doing much better. So my goal is to have an average of about 2 miles an hour. And when you got nice cruisy trail like this, you can make up for a climb or two. I know I'm not done climbing for the day. I'm not done climbing for the day because I have an app that kind of tells me what's coming, and so there's probably another 700 feet of climbs, but they're spaced out over like 9 or 10 miles. So it's not like there's any one big monster climb that's, that I've got to do. I've got one coming up here in a little ways, so it might be 200 or 300 feet, which is significant, but in the meantime, I'm going to cruise on down the trail. It would be awesome to get the majority of my miles in by just a little bit out of lunch, a little bit after lunchtime, say 1, 2 o'clock, to give me some leeway at the shuttle and a little time to rest too. So I'm pushing on this morning. Last night for supper, I had a dehydrated chili meal that I made, that I added freeze-dried sausage, and I had a little real cheddar with me that I melted in, and that was amazing. It was just like being at home and eating at my own table. And then I packed in a bunch of extra calories. That seems to help. Pack calories in the night before so that you've got some stores in your body to go up these climbs. But I'm still waiting for my body to get super conditioned. Right now it's conditioned, but it's not super conditioned. But anyway, it's been a good day so far. I slept really good last night. I couldn't hardly wait till hiker midnight, which is 8:30, 9 o'clock, to go to sleep. But I made it there, and slept really good till about 5 o'clock this morning. So I got some really good sleep in, and that also helps. Sleep rejuvenates your body. So anyway, let me show you some more of this trail. Right now, this is just fantastic. A rock or root every now and then, but other than that, it's really great. And I got to do this climb not in the heat of the day, because it's going to get hotter today. It's going to be probably in the upper 70s. Right now my pack thermometer says 65, which is wonderful. Wonderful. 60 would be wonderful too. Just beautiful hiking weather, so you don't sweat and overheat so badly. Started pumping fluids before I left camp. Drank pretty close to a liter off and on through my morning routine. Decided today that whenever I get a water source, I'm going to stop and drink. So there was one halfway up the climb. Stopped, drank probably 2 or 3 cups, just to have some fluids in me to keep me going. Dehydration can be a real energy zapper, and so if there's water available, I'm taking it. I had thought about last night, I thought about trying to climb up to that first water source in camp, which I probably could have done, but my body and my psyche were in no mood for that climb. It wasn't a hard climb. This climb today, the first 1.5 miles or so of it was very measured in that it was switchbacked really well, and then the final push was just a beeline up over the top of the ridge, and that was a little harder. But anyway, here we go again. I've got a little uphill coming, so this segment of huffing and puffing is brought to you by Grayson Hikes. Okay, so I want to tell you a story. I should have gotten a thru hiker that I met to tell you this story, but I didn't. He would have had to repeat it. So I met a thru hiker this morning. His name is Preacher, and he told me his story. He said about 10 years ago a tree fell on him, and he had to have back surgery. He had his back fused and put a artificial disc in place, and he was in terrible and tremendous pain and on morphine for 10 years. And he said one day the Lord told him to start walking, and he started walking, and when he was walking, his back didn't hurt. So he said, I walked 3,000 miles in that 1 year, was able to get off morphine. And then at a certain point he said he also lost 109 pounds. And so he was asking the Lord, why are you having me doing all this walking? And he was just curious about that. And a friend one day said, why don't you hike the Appalachian Trail? And he said he had never considered it. But then he said the Holy Spirit told him to come out here, hike the Appalachian Trail, and tell everybody his story. And so it's just really cool to meet people like that out here. I met another thru hiker this morning too, no story. His name was Bubbles. He had an English accent. I asked him where he's from. He said, well, I'm originally from England, but I live in New Hampshire. So you meet all kinds. I'm hiking southbound to get to my shuttle today, which means I'm meeting all the northbound hikers. So it's actually kind of cool to do this because you meet more people southbound than you do. But my main reason was there was a particularly gnarly climb that was easier hiking the other way, and this fit really well with being able to go back to the hostel tonight, go and do a resupply for 3 or 4 days to get me into another hostel near Catawba, Virginia. The other thing that was really cool is that I've been feeling, yesterday was really discouraging, but because I just felt blah and like I couldn't hardly hike, and feeling like an imposter. It just came to my mind this morning that after this climb and the way this day is going, I'm starting to feel like a thru hiker. It just takes some time to get your body whipped into shape. This is This is pretty much a cataclysmic event physically. Involves so many things. Involves physical stamina and leg strength and cardio and rest and just getting used to the routine and being able to relax. But this yesterday and this day are so tremendously gorgeous. You know, I stopped during the climb and just listening to all the birds singing was just phenomenal. Particularly this season of the year, you hear so many birds. And so anyway, it's been a good day so far. There's way more to come. By my calculation, I'm a third of the way through, but the first third half is much easier than the last half, just because you kind of run out of energy. One of these times up here, I've been hiking a little over 2 hours. I'll stop and take a break, refuel, drink some fluids, but it's really hard to take a break when you got nice easy trail like this where you can just kind of motor down the trail. It's sort of an exhilarating thing. You still do got to watch for rocks. They'll trip you in a heartbeat, but anyway, I thought you'd like to hear that story. There's so many cool stories out here. Okay, so I'm sitting here by the creek. I have 1.1 miles to go to get to the trailhead to where I'm going to get picked up. I'm ahead of schedule. It's been a doozy of a hiking day. Got up the climb okay, made some good miles across the top, and then I got to this really gnarly rocky section. It was just rock, and went through that. That was 3.5 miles. I would say Pennsylvania isn't the only place that has rocks. And then after that, it came to a shelter, and the shelter then had a steep downhill, and I did the downhill. It was not terribly rocky, but just really steep. And with that, and it had a lot of rhododendron root down near the bottom. So basically, my knees, ankles, and feet are crying mercy right now. But doing okay. I'm just chilling a little bit here by the stream where it's cool, and taking a load off because I know that I'll make it to my destination on time, probably ahead of time. When I get close to being there, I think I'm going to send them a satellite message and tell them that I'm ahead of schedule and see if they would pick me up a little early. I do have one final climb. It's not very much. It's 187 feet, but I just came up and over a climb that wasn't very much, but it was steep as all get out. So I hope this one isn't the same way, but 1.1 miles. We're going to ease her there. We're going to end up at Peters Mountain Trailhead, I think is what it's called, to get picked up. And then I go to the hostel, and first order of business is to resupply. I'll probably buy myself some food at the grocery store to fix tonight for supper. And trying to decide whether I want to do laundry or not. I really only have a couple things that are dirty, so I might just wash them out in the sink and throw them in the dryer. I don't know. And once the resupply and everything is packaged up and done, go to bed, get up, and the shuttle's taking me back to the trailhead to resume going northbound. Today has been a good day. The parts of it have been challenging and hard, but at the end of the day it will be about a 12.8 mile day, which is pretty stinking good. And then to do that and get there by 2 o'clock, I don't know, I'll just say early morning hiking in warm weather is totally worth it. I got to do the climb in like 60, 62, 64 degree weather, and this afternoon I'm sure it's pushing probably 78. Yep, 78 my thermometer says. So being able to do a hard climb in cool weather is worth it. I'm hoping I get to the trailhead tomorrow. I have another climb to begin the day, just the story of my life here in the last number of days, the way things are set up. So I've got another climb. It doesn't look as bad as the one I had a day ago. But nevertheless, probably 1,600 feet. It's hard to tell from these elevation profiles. I'll show you sometime. I'll show you my trail map guide, and I'll show you what I mean by these elevation profiles. Maybe I can do that this evening at the hostel if I find myself some time. Anyway, this is Grayson, and I'm taking you with me. Well, I made it to my pickup point a little early. Got here at just like 10 after 3, and I was scheduled to pick up for 4 o'clock. I'm just hanging out waiting for my shuttle driver. It was a long day for me, 12.8, 13 miles basically. Had some pretty rugged terrain in it, I've said that earlier. I have tired ankles, tired knees, and sore feet. And I'm looking forward to getting the load off and getting to the hostel, and then being able to take care of some of my business this evening. But anyway, we made it, and it was a beautiful day.